What's up, guys? Welcome. This is Justin. I just wanted to make a short video series about how to play the electric guitar if your background is an acoustic guitar player or maybe a bass player. So for a little background, personally, I was mainly a bass player. I still am mainly a bass player, and I played some acoustic guitar. But one time I was asked to fill in for electric guitar, and to make that jump, I thought there's a few pointers that enabled me to make the jump. I'm still not like a true electric guitar player, but I can get by enough. And so I just wanted to share, like, for someone with a similar background like me, how can you make that jump easily in a day? How can you go from acoustic / bass playing to playing an electric guitar and sort of get by? Let me just preface this by saying that like I said, I'm not a true electric guitar player. So if you do want, like, true electric guitar advice, of course, there's a plethora of good YouTube videos out there, great videos actually, teaching you how to play electric and stuff. And like for me personally, if I'm playing on a worship team or something, and there's a song that I want to learn on electric, I would look up, like covers or tutorials on that particular song and try to learn it properly. But this video series is more like if you don't have the time and you just want to jump in straight, and what can you do? Shout out to Grace Bangkok Church for inspiring me to actually make this video. I was planning to go over this kind of stuff, but we ran out of time, so I wanted to make the video instead. So here you go. Okay, so the first video I'm gonna make after this, and what I'm gonna do, so I'm just kind of talk briefly about the theory, and then we'll show the practice examples afterwards. First one is gonna cover this section right here on bar chords, the E and E minor shape, the A and A minor shape, and then arpeggiating, strumming, and single notes. So actually, like, really, this section right here to me is the meat of everything that you truly need to start right away, like to go from acoustic guitar playing to electric guitar playing in one single day. But yeah, let's get into it. So first of all, bar chords. And within bar chords, there's really two shapes I want to focus on. These are the E and A shapes. And then in a short extension, they're minors. So first, starting with the E shape comes from, like if you're an acoustic guitar player, you know how to play an E, right? Open E. So what do you do? You hold this string, the second string, right? That's the A string. And you hold this D string here, third string. And then this D string you hold right here. So that's the E shape we all learn, right? Did I do that right? Wait, I feel like something's wrong. Okay, that's right. So this would be an E. And this E, it corresponds with this open E, right? This what do you call? Let me change my font and zoom in. So if you think about like the string here, this bottom string or top string actually, I'm visualizing this guitar as if you're laying it on your lap, right? So this would be actually what we call the top string. This is the low E tonal string. And so right here, this would be in open E. Let me write the E like right here, open E. Oh, wait, actually wrong spot. It's more over here for the E string. And so this shape corresponds with the E. And if I take this same shape, I'm going to take this shape and then shift it over to the right, then I could make a new chord, but to compensate for like having to shift it, I would need to cover up this as like my new fretboard, right? Not fretboard, new like this is the, what do you call? I don't know the name for that thing, like the neck or no, I don't know, whatever it is. This portion here, the open portion, to make it like the same relative position, I need to just bar this with my finger. So that's why we call it a bar chord, because you're barring it with your barring with your finger, right? You take your pointer and you just lay it across all these strings and you hold them down. And so this is a bar chord. Now, what happens is this becomes an F. And if you've played any acoustic guitar, you probably at some point had to play an F and being like, oh man, this is hard to shape to hold. But on an electric guitar, the strings are lighter. It actually makes it easier to hold. So this would be an F, right? If you hold this shape that I just outlined. You bar this, and then you move that same E shape over to the right. And we can continue this same idea if I move it over to the next position. This is the F sharp. This note right here, this fret right on the top string, that's an F sharp, or alternatively a G flat. We talked about this in our Grace Bangkok number system explanation, but that's an F. This would be an F sharp then, right? And then right here at the first dot, barring that first dot, that's the G. And that matches this note on the bottom string. That's a G, right? So here's the bar chord, G, and I can continue this pattern, G sharp, A sharp or B flat, B, right here in that third dot, right? And then C next, C sharp. And then right two before the double dots is the D, and then a D sharp, and then back to where I started, E. You notice that the two dots is where the reset happens. So 2 dots indicates that this is the 12th fret. 12th fret means, okay, this is the same note, higher octave, but the same note as the open string down here. And if I want to, I could label all these so you can see it, right? And remember the sharp just means it's a half a step above the previous note. And a flat means it's half a step below the note above it. So it's got 2 names, G sharp or A flat, because G sharp if I come from the G, A flat if I come from the A, but the same note. Okay, so I can label all these guys like that. Remember, B and C, they're buddy close, so they're right next to each other. There's no sharps or flat, and E and F are extra friendly. B, C you can also remember because it's before grace, right? Okay, and then C sharp, D flat, or D here. D, the way I think about D is 2 before the E, and that's always helps me to find it from this direction. And then D sharp / E flat, and then back to the E. Once you're at the E, it resets again. So if I want to play a higher F, let's say I want to play an F on a higher register, I have the option to hold my F bar chord up here, right? And just take this whole bar shape and move it there. So boom, right there, I have all the chords I need, really. I have E from low E through high E. I have all the notes in between, and I have a shape that enables me to play it at any note I want, any chord that I want, any major chord, right? Now, small adjustment. If I want to change this and make it into a minor, all I have to do is just take out this little guy. And wait, let's actually back up. Let's back up a bit, guys. So like if you're playing acoustic guitar, right? How do you play E minor? Well, you hold this note and this note, right? You hold just those 2, easy chord. Boom, boom. That's an E minor. So same idea as before. If I want to shift this now to an F minor, just shift that over to the right, bar this thing, and I've just shifted my E minor to now an F minor. And notice that corresponds with the F note right there in the bottom, that string, right? So this is F minor, shift it on, F sharp minor, G minor, G sharp minor, A minor, A sharp minor, B minor, etc. And so I have a shape now for all the major and minor chords, and I can get any of them. And if I want to play in a higher register, I can move up here, right here, reset here at E, F minor, F sharp minor. Oops, I carried that little sharp with me by accident. Sorry, guys. I think that belongs right there, yeah. Let's try that again. There we go. So reset here, right? E minor, this is F minor, F sharp minor, G sharp minor, etc. I'm sorry, I said the wrong thing. F sharp minor, G minor. G minor, and then, the way to quickly get around is to remember what these dots are. So like, I got the E at the base, right? The G happens at the first dot, A at the second dot, B at the second dot, third dot. So it goes G, A, B for those first 3. G, A, B. If I want a D, then I just go from this double dot and just back up 2 to D, because I know D is 2 frets below the E. That's just how I think about it, how to find those positions quickly. All right, what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to actually cut this video off because I don't want these videos to be too long. So I'm going to cut this one off right here, and then next we'll talk about the A and A minor bar chord shapes, but it's really similar concept. And then after that, we'll put it all together with some examples.